What's up, guys? It's your boy Mr. Pompous from Self-Indulgent Radio. You are now listening to the music's busiest internerd Blamthany Slamtano. Sherplex Splang Slang. Sorry, I just had a stroke. aka Reed from Shameless Nerd. The premise of this video is very simple. I am big music lover, man, play guitar, make music, play sounds. These are my favorite songs that came out this year and a little bit about each one for whatever that's worth. All right, at number 10, Girl So Confusing by Charlie XCX. I am a certified bradder. My girlfriend constantly makes fun of my love for Charlie XCX, but it's not like an ironic thing. It's not me trying to co-opt something that doesn't belong to me. I just think that she's a genius. I love how vulnerable and interesting this song is lyrically. It's very like Laura Les from 100 Gex kind of confessional. That's my favorite style of songwriting. But I mean, ultimately, this song is just a vibe. It rules. I like the original more than the remix with Lord, but I love the premise of the one with Lord, and I love the story behind that was kind of a song almost to Lord, and it was made with that in mind, and then to have that kind of come full circle for the remix, I think is really cool, but I like the original one better, and that's number 10. All right, at number 9, 100,000 Voices by Jacob Collier. I cannot pretend that I don't adore Jacob Collier. I know that he's a pretty divisive figure on the internet, and I think that the album Jesse Volume 4 is definitely kind of like shallow talent show sort of thing and was overall pretty disappointing. But I think this is the best written song on the album. It has these beautiful sweeping resampled crowd chorus things in the beginning, which if you've seen Jacob Collier, you know what I'm talking about. And then it just has this massive vocal performance from Jacob, who usually is way more warm and restrained in his delivery, and he sings in the back of his throat, and he's all the time, which is great. I mean, I love it. It's not everybody's thing, but I love the way that this song is him really just celebrating, just getting real loud. The whole song is very celebratory and fun, and also kind of sad in this way that really just speaks to me, and I love it. All right, number 8 is Linoleum by K-Mo. K-Mo released only one song this year. My friends and I have been complaining since his first release in 2020 that we really wish he'd just release music. I don't know what he's up to. I know that he's 18 years old or whatever, and I get it, but I don't know. We need more songs to listen to. This song is very eerie and ambient for K-Mo. Is usually super maximalist, squirrel brain, synth heavy insanity, and that's still present on this track, but it's more stripped down and compositional for him. I actually didn't like this song much at first, and that's pretty awesome when that happens. The best songs kind of grow on you, and this one definitely did over the course of the year, the more time that I've spent with it, and I think that's really cool too. Number 7 is You Are What You Do by Avaram. I actually found this guy on Instagram, I think. It was one of the last things I remember seeing on Instagram before I got off of it. Hey, check out my other video right here. And it was basically him playing his songs on Omegle, trying to self-promote, and the person he was playing his song to was making fun of him, and then it cuts, hard cuts to him playing that song on stage in front of this big crowd. And that, coupled with the vibe of his songs, if you've ever listened to him, was just so heartwarming and celebratory and happy in this weird bittersweet kind of characteristically Avaram kind of way. And so I just started following him on Spotify or whatever, and then this album came out this year, and just this song is so fun and uplifting and such a palate cleansing song full of joy and fun, and it's just an awesome track. All right, number 6 is Jesus Is Dead by Bleachers. Similar to my love for Jacob Collier, I feel the need to kind of confess to loving Jack Antonoff, but he's just another one that he is a genius, whether his style is what you love or not. And I know for some people it's super not, and he makes his kind of stuff and pretty much nothing else. And so if you're not into it, then there's nothing there for you. But if you do like it, man, can he do that thing. This song just beats this melody into your head. It is so catchy because it's so repetitive in this deliberate artistic kind of way. If you pay attention to the lyrics, it kind of makes sense as to why it circles back around, which is a cool type of songwriting. Compositionally, it's kind of dark and melancholy for a Bleachers track. It has some rock elements that really set this album apart from previous Bleachers releases also, which is cool. And it's just this most recent Bleachers album as a whole, super well written, interesting lyrically, and melodically, but mostly kind of focuses on Jack's songwriting, which is what I really like the most about Bleachers anyway. All right, top 5. Number 5, there is a big tier shift here. We move into some of my favorite songs, really of all time, that just kind of happened to come out this year. Number 5 is a song called Carousel by Brevin Kim. If you've never heard of Brevin Kim, they're this super cool duo. They're two brothers. They make this sort of like left field, ambient, indie kind of hyperpop adjacent kind of experimental stuff. But then every now and then they also do like art rap stuff. I don't know what you call them or how you'd categorize them because they do all kinds of different things. But Jesus Christ, this song is so cool. It's just one of those like hauntingly catchy and infectious. Like it's super dynamic and huge, but still really has these like intimate and melancholy, like stripped down kind of things, and then has this huge kind of sing-along chorus, and it's just this weird-ass song with this weird vocal effect going on that I've never really heard anything sound super similar to. It's a very cool song. It's one that stuck with me since its release, and it's in every playlist that I make. Number 4 is Slug by Matt Champion. God, we are getting to songs that I love. Okay, so Matt Champion, obviously from Brockhampton. This is his debut solo, like, post Brockhampton LP, and it's by far the best post Brockhampton release. Joba also had an album come out this year that I really like too, but this is just, I mean, Mika's Laundry by Matt Champion is just it's a different beast compared to other post Brockhampton releases, even Kevin Abstract stuff. But the whole album is incredible and unique and strange. And Slug is this interesting, like disco-y kind of vibe about being someone's slug. I don't know. It's super fun. It gets its emotion across in this characteristic kind of Matt Champion fried crooning kind of thing, and then it just has this cathartic crescendo in the chorus, and it's just a great time, and it's a great song, and it rules. The whole album rules. It's like it's definitively my third favorite album of the year, but in a worse year for music would be like my favorite album of the year, whatever. It's a fantastic album, something that you should listen to. Awesome album. Awesome song, Slug. Okay, top 3 is another step up. These are all 3 songs that would be in my top 25 favorite songs of all time or so. Number 3 is a song called Maine by Hey Nothing. This song has like sparse, simple acoustic backdrop and these chilling, dark verses with super interesting harmonies in the verses, which are really cool. And then the concept is really specific about like feeling a sense of wanderlust and like a desire to escape, and then kind of relating with a place that you are not from or that you've only been to a few times, and kind of just having this longing to escape and to disappear and get away from things, and still feeling tied down to like home and family. This very complicated, specific emotion that it gets across in this really like accessible way, which is my favorite kind of songwriting, when you take these deep, giant sort of concepts and just distill them down into like this, very simple surface level songwriting. The verses build in this song and like stack on each other up to this awesome pre-chorus, and then it just drops into the most epic indie folk anthemic like massive chorus I've heard in forever. Hey Nothing is just 2 guys, and they're so cool. They do a lot of like cool social media, promotional stuff where it's just them and an acoustic guitar singing, and they do their harmony thing. They're just super, super good. My favorite song of theirs, and like I said, it's one of my favorite songs of all time, Maine by Hey Nothing. All right. Here we go. Number 2. Okay. Guide Dog by Quadeca. So if you don't know who Quadeca is, he was a YouTube rapper for years, and he was fine or whatever for the time. Like, who cares? But he built this big following on YouTube, and then all of a sudden he just pivoted and started making like some of the most boundary pushing, singular, cutting edge, lo-fi indie pop that's kind of in the world of like hyper pop, but more lo-fi, and has elements of like hip hop and rock and synth. And I mean, like, genuinely his music is some of the most like sonically interesting music that I've heard ever. I mean, he's absolutely one of one right now. His 24 album Scrapyard is like my 1A, 1B album of the year, with the album coming up next on this list. It's just top to bottom incredible. And this song, Guide Dog, is beautiful. It's tragic. It's intimate and genuine, relatable. It's super well written and concise. It's delivered in this weird, like, lo-fi distorted ballroom waltz acoustic instrumentation with his voice just like cracking and just meandering all over the place. And then it builds to these big crescendoing, tear-jerking choruses that you just want to scream when you're playing the song. And it's just incredible. I mean, it is a must-listen, one of my favorite songs of all time, genuinely. And number one. Okay, so this is my favorite song of the year from my favorite album of the year. And not only that, but this is unequivocally my favorite song of all time. I think this is a perfect song. I could write an entire essay on why I unironically think that this is the best song of all time without being hyperbolic or like contrarian. This song makes me cry every time I listen to it. It was my number one most played song on Spotify this year, the last year I'll be using Spotify. It changed my life. It was one of the main contributing factors to me like dragging myself out of a dark, depressive episode and like period of my life. It is just one of the most perfectly crafted, perfectly written, most genuine and gut-wrenchingly beautiful songs I have ever heard in my life. Every line is warranted and perfectly placed. Every word is carefully written. The sentiment is profound. The imagery and the absurdist humor and the juxtaposition between verses and the complexity of the ideas expressed, and again, that super accessible simplicity, multiplied by the fact that this song is just extremely catchy and fun to sing along to, and it has this awesome vibe, and it's dynamic and fun, and it's sonically accessible and familiar, but still fresh and unique and new. It's the best song I've ever heard. It is my favorite song I've ever heard. I don't care how corny that makes me sound. Number one is Russian Roulette by Porter Robinson. I mean, I've said all I can say about it. I can literally cry thinking about this song. It is transformative, beautiful, my favorite song I've ever heard. All right, those are my favorite songs of the year. Let me know in the comments how much less you think of me now that you know my top 10. Drop your favorite songs of the year below. And go listen to these songs you haven't heard. Support artists, stop streaming music, and buy albums on Bandcamp or artist direct websites if possible. Buy merch, tickets to see shows, and support indie musicians. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.